Next up, we are on our esteemed panelist is Dr. Tamu Lucero. She's a superintendent of Stamford Public Schools and is a really good friend to KIC. She has a TeenTalk counselor at one of her high schools, AITE, in Stamford. And my question for you is, what are the challenges an urban school district faces to secure funds and maintain that funding for a TeenTalk program?
Thank you all for having us. We hosted this last year and it was just an amazing event, and I just want to thank all the people who are involved in this because it really does make a difference. We as superintendents know that we can't do our job without our wonderful community partners, and you all have been such a great community partner for us for so long that it really has made a huge difference in our school district, so thank you. I will say that I don't think this is an urban issue. I don't think that mental health knows a zip code. Everyone struggles with it, and everyone struggles with their funding. You know, I think we learned a lot in the last 3 years. Everyone talked about all these ARP and ESSER funds that we got, and this is so great, this is so wonderful. But last year, all you heard about is how are we going to replace those funds? And that's when it becomes complicated because we then need to make a huge case for why everything is important in our school system. And I was talking to some friends this weekend on Saturday night, and we were talking about how schools are just not education organizations anymore. We really do have to handle everything, and we have to be able to provide those supports to our teachers and staff so that our students are able to be in school and learning as much as they can, but it's complicated. And so I talk about all the time, how do you find the funding? You're always looking for it, right? We never stop looking for funding. I was out in the parking lot early this morning and I was texting to a couple of my staff members that said, we need to continue to every day advocate for every dollar, apply for every grant that we can apply for, because you never know when someone's gonna say yes. And it's worth it to us. I always tell the story, people will say, this is too expensive, this is too expensive. It costs $125,000 a day to run buses in Stamford Public Schools, $125,000 a day. No one says it's too much to run buses in Stamford Public Schools, except for my board member back there. He probably thinks that's too much money. But I do want to shout out Andy. Andy has been on the board for many years and has been a huge advocate to our budget. So can we give him a round of applause? When you have wonderful board members who see the vision for the school district and see what we're trying to accomplish, it makes it that much easier when we have to go advocate. So I do think it's all of our jobs to continue to look for those dollars and to advocate at the state level. If you've never been up to testify about our budgets, it's really important that you do that on a regular basis. Anytime you see anyone in your state delegation, you need to talk to them. You need to have an elevator speech so that they continuously are reminded how important services are. This morning like I said, I was outside early this morning and I saw your school resource officer just opening up the doors, helping people in. And that relationship right there, I kept thinking, what a relationship that you have someone who knows people's names as they're coming into the school. That makes us feel safe. But at the same time, it's that trusted adult that you have. And we want as many trusted adults as we can get. So we are going to continue to advocate for more funding. And if we can get it, we want to be able to spread this into our middle schools, because we know that that is the age that kids start to, we probably could use it in upper elementary school too, but let's start in our middle schools, because they just have issues that, you know, if you've had a middle schooler, if you've raised a middle schooler, you know how complicated it is. This weekend I went to see In-N-Out 2, and if you haven't seen it, you have to go and see it. You probably as a superintendent should not go at noon in your school district on a Saturday. That was a bad idea. My husband was like, what were you thinking? but it's such a good movie. I'm gonna take my whole cabinet to see it because it reminds you every day that that anxiety takes over in middle school, and anything that we can do to support our students is gonna be really important. And this is what you produce, these wonderful women who are standing up here advocating for themselves. And I have some just like you in Stamford, but you all, they really push me. They're like, Dr. Lucero, what are you doing next? What are you doing next? So you all probably do that also, but they really do advocate for themselves. And I want to give one final shout out to Mayor Simmons. From day one of her administration, she has made youth mental health a focus in our city, and because of that, we have come so far. And so she's not here today, but if you see her, you can say thank you, because she's done an amazing job making sure that we have what we need in Stamford. So we'll just keep banging on doors for dollars. That's what we'll all do.